Okay, let's continue talking of the systems of control and how we have been controlled for a long time through health. Because let's just face it, the pharmaceutical industry and the health industry at large has become just that, an industry. It's no longer about helping people to feel better. It's about finding ways to monetize off of people's ailments. And this war on consciousness that has been taking place for as long as we can remember, the primary place in which this battle has been taking place is our minds and our bodies. Everything in this world is working against us. We are being poisoned through the chemicals in the processed foods, the chemicals in the body products we use, whether this be deodorant, whether this be toothpaste, the fragrances in our washing powder. All of these things are actually working against us. The fact that our waters have been poisoned through all the dumping that is done by all these massive corporations that continue to create products that actually make us sicker. The technology that we use that is constantly emitting energy waves and frequency waves that are actually emitting low levels of radiation. All the Wi-Fi signals, the pharmaceutical drugs that are prescribed by doctors who essentially get kickbacks for the medicine that they provide. And it continues to baffle me why anybody goes to doctors today. I can tell you one thing is that the health industry killed both my parents, because the allopathic medicine that is used today, and whilst it can be very positive, the way the industry is presenting these treatments is not really for the well-being of the patients, but to just find more ways that they can continue making people sick so that they continue to profit off them. I can't remember the last time I went to see a doctor, because prevention is better than cure. And in today's world where we can really no longer trust the health industry, we can no longer really trust doctors. And it shocks me here in Kenya, the medication that gets prescribed to a lot of people, because I feel like doctors are just, the quickest thing is that they might not always have the right knowledge, but they'll just prescribe a whole bunch of medication when, let's just be honest, they're all derived from plants. And when in ancient times we all survived off of plant medicines and plant treatments, and the fact that we would all use, as we call it here in Kenya, mitishamba, these are basically herbal remedies. And let's not forget that the pharmaceutical industry is creating chemical derivatives of what nature gives us. So what is more powerful, using the plant that has been grown directly out of the ground that was designed by God, let's be honest, or some chemical composition which is also including petroleum and God knows what other things that you're going to then ingest into your body. And then people wonder why they keep getting sick. As I said, I can't even remember the last time I got sick, because prevention is better than cure. And now when so many people are struggling with all kinds of ailments and then wondering, where did I go wrong? Well, look to the products that you're consuming, things that you're eating or things that you're putting on your skin. Because my rule is, if I can't pronounce it, it's not going anywhere near my body. What we need to leave behind is processed foods. Isn't it interesting, on the African continent, let me focus on Kenya because this is what I know, where so many people now struggle with diabetes, blood pressure, cancer. These were all Western diseases. And these diseases have begun to prevail the African continent. Why? Because of the more processed foods we are consuming. The fact that before we used to eat nourishing whole foods, but today we're left eating GMOs that are ridden in pesticides, and then we wonder why people are getting sick. But the problem is that when people get sick and someone tells them what you really need is a lifestyle change, they would rather pop a pill and be done with it. But unfortunately, we're starting to see that more and more people no longer really trust the health industry, because I would rather still go to ancient traditional ways and consume what nature gives, which I know is healthy and wholesome, rather than consuming God knows what more chemicals. But this is the thing, people don't want to be uncomfortable. People don't want to commit for something long enough. Most people are stuck in instant gratification and just want a comfortable, quick fix. But if you really want to turn your life around, then your health really is your greatest wealth. And if there's anything that you do this year is start prioritizing your health more. Be far more selective about what you're putting in and on your body. Because once you're sick, and it takes longer to reverse the issue than make sure that the issue never turns up at all. So I would be interested to hear from you. Do you believe in plant remedies and plant medicines, or are you going to continue consuming the pharmaceutical drugs that are essentially being given to us? And well, we know that Bill Gates's plan has forever been about population reduction. So we have to question a lot of the medicine that is being shipped over to Africa is generally what is no longer able to be consumed in other parts of the world. So just because someone in a coat who's been to medical school tells you this is what you need, doesn't mean that that's always true, because doctors are not taught anything about what goes into this medication. That's being done by chemists, and that's really mixing a whole bunch of different chemicals going on, and they might tell you this is what it does, but it might do something different. And now I'm not telling you not to seek medical advice in case of issues. I'm just telling you to start thinking smartly, to start thinking more long term, to start thinking about prevention rather than cure. Because if we can't really trust what is going on within that industry, then what do we really have? Are you just going to put anything in your mouth because someone has told you that it's going to help you? Unfortunately, we have to start questioning everything, because we just can't trust the way we once did. When money is the driving factor behind everything, we really have to start questioning, what are we going to consume? Is it really safe to consume these things?